World War II was a comprehensive conflict that occurred from 1939 to 1945. This war resulted in the death of tens of millions of people, including both military personnel and civilians. World War II also left profound consequences on the global economy, politics, and society. The Second World War was a senseless war, inflicting pain and loss upon millions. This conflict demonstrated the extent of human brutality and destruction. It serves as a costly historical lesson, showing us the importance of peace and cooperation in safeguarding humanity. World War II led to the downfall of fascist ideologies, reshaped the world order, and gave rise to the bipolar system of the United States and the Soviet Union. The causes of World War II. The Versailles Treaty, signed in 1919, imposed severe conditions on Germany and the Allied nations after World War I, creating an unstable and unjust environment. The Great Crash of 1929 in the United States led to a global economic downturn. In many countries, extreme politicians such as Adolf Hitler in Germany, Benito Mussolini in Italy, and Emperor Hirohito in Japan capitalized on the discontent of the people, establishing authoritarian and fascist regimes. Stalin's policies of national reform in the Soviet Union and Germany's territorial expansion through events like the Anschluss and Sudetenland raised concerns about military confrontation. Despite efforts by France and Britain to negotiate peace by appeasing Germany's demands, they were unable to prevent the German military expansion. Japan's invasion of China in 1937 created a conflict in Asia. Germany invaded Poland in September 1939, leading to France and Britain declaring war and initiating one of the largest conflicts in human history. In World War II, the warring parties were divided into two opposing alliances: Allied powers, Soviet Union. Germany's Operation Barbarossa on June 22, 1941, marked the Soviet Union as a key member of the Allied forces. This invasion terminated any reconciliation between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. United States. The Pearl Harbor attack, a Japanese air raid on the U.S. naval base in Hawaii, led to the death of thousands of soldiers and significant infrastructure damage. President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared war against Japan. United Kingdom played a crucial role in resisting Germany, especially after the Dunkirk evacuation in 1940. France, allied with the UK after being occupied by Germany. The Free French forces participated in the conflict. Axis powers, Germany. Under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, Germany was the main driving force behind the war, launching attacks on multiple European countries. Italy. Under Benito Mussolini's rule, Italy joined forces with Germany to support the expansion of the war. Japan. Japan initiated its military campaign in Asia in 1937, subsequently aligning itself with Germany and Italy to bolster the shared objectives of the Axis powers. Allied powers had approximately 80 million military personnel involved, with 600,000 aircraft, 214,000 tanks, and 12,500 warships. Axis powers had about 35 million military personnel engaged, with 130,000 aircraft, 80,000 tanks, and 2,500 warships. Course of the war. On September 1, 1939, 1.5 million German troops, equipped with weapons, tanks, fighter jets, and artillery, attacked Poland from three main directions: the north, south, and west. Within a month, Poland was under German control. This attack opened a brutal war that had a profound impact on the world. On May 10, 1940, Germany initiated an attack on France. With the superior military strength of the German army, the French government was forced to surrender, and the southern part of France came under German occupation. Following this, Belgium and Greece also fell to German forces as they captured Brussels and Athens, albeit facing some resistance from the armies of these nations. Utilizing the Blitzkrieg strategy, the German army laid the groundwork for Axis dominance in Europe. Simultaneously, this spurred the involvement of the Soviet Union and the United Kingdom in the war, marking a significant turning point. After the Pearl Harbor attack in the Asia-Pacific region during the 1942-1943 period, the United States showcased its immense influence through vigorous campaigns and fierce battles. The Battle of Midway and the Coral Sea in 1942 along with operations in the Solomon Islands, notably the Battle of Guadalcanal, demonstrated the considerable impact of American military prowess. These victories altered the strategic landscape, exerting pressure and reducing Japan's influence in the area. This ushered in a new phase in World War II in Asia and the Pacific. On the Eastern Front during the 1942-1943 period, Stalingrad, Kharkov, and Kursk were the fierce battlefields with the highest casualties. The defeats at Stalingrad and Kursk not only weakened Germany's military strength, but also bolstered the pride and determination of the Soviet Union. This phase marked a period of consecutive victories for the Soviet Union, signifying a positive turning point in the war on the Eastern Front and globally. The North African Campaign, including the Battle of El Alamein and the Sicily Campaign, marked the beginning of the war in the Mediterranean. The Atlantic Campaign brought the Allied Navy into the race against German submarines. Turning point of the war. A series of crucial victories in the years 1943 and 1944 in the Aleutian Islands, Gilbert and Marshall Islands, Caroline Islands, and Western New Guinea by the Allied forces forced Japan to withdraw its troops from these significant theaters of war. In Europe, Operation Husky took place on July 10, 1943, as Allied forces landed on the island of Sicily in Italy. The Battle of Monte Cassino on May 18, 1944, marked the collapse of Mussolini's fascist government and altered the course of the war in southern Europe. D-Day in June 1944 saw the Allied forces landing on Normandy, the second front in Europe. With 150,000 Allied troops tightly engaging the German forces, they compelled a German retreat from France. The Normandy landings marked a crucial turning point in World War II. This victory paved the way for the Allies to advance into Germany. On August 25, 1944, Paris was liberated. In the Asia-Pacific, from June to November 1944, a series of American counteroffensives targeted Imperial Japanese forces in the Mariana and Palau Islands. The Battle of the Philippine Sea, from June 19 to 20, 1944, was the largest naval battle in world history, involving over 200 ships from both sides. The Japanese suffered significant losses, including 3 sunk aircraft carriers and 475 downed planes. The Battle of Leyte Gulf took place from October 23 to 26, 1944, being the largest amphibious assault in world history, with over 150,000 U.S. troops participating. 4 Japanese aircraft carriers were sunk and 400 planes were lost, marking the loss of Japanese control in the Asia-Pacific region. Inevitable failure. On April 16, 1945, the Soviet Red Army initiated the Berlin Offensive. On May 7, 1945, the Supreme High Command of Germany signed an unconditional surrender document with Allied representatives in Reims, France. On May 9, 1945, German forces formally surrendered in Berlin, Germany. This event is known as Victory in Europe Day. Following President Harry S. Truman's order on August 6, 1945, Hiroshima witnessed the deployment of Little Boy. The explosion claimed over 140,000 lives immediately and inflicted injuries on tens of thousands. On August 9, 1945, Nagasaki experienced Fat Man, resulting in 74,000 fatalities and numerous injuries. Japan's unconditional surrender after the atomic bombings underscored the devastating power of nuclear weapons and had profound effects on international relations. The war concluded, opening a new chapter in human history. Aside from remarkable strides in science and technology, World War II stands as a poignant and tragic event in history, inflicting suffering and loss upon millions. The conflict caused immense pain and devastation. The ideological and geopolitical differences, as well as the post-war interests of nations, gave rise to 2 opposing military alliances, the Warsaw Treaty Organization and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, marking a crucial turning point leading to the Cold War. The confrontation between these alliances divided the world into opposing blocs, leading to escalating tensions in international relations that persist to this day. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel.